Hi fellow traders, I am back. For those of you who've been looking for me, who sent me emails wanting to know what happened, I thought I'd let everybody know the week leading up that I was going to be on vacation. On vacation, I do no videos, nothing. I open the chat room in the morning, I'm there, I get the scans up. But family wakes up, it's time to go. I can't hang around. And we're gone pretty much all day. We really enjoy ourselves. But I did look at posting my sign. I did post my sign all over social media. I was gone sailing. So that should have been a clear sign that I am gone. But we had a good time. We go there every year. We've been going, Hilton Head is like my second home. Ever since I was a toddler, almost. We've been going to Hilton Head every summer. My parents were teachers, so we got to spend pretty much the whole summer there. And it's just a tradition. But we go and we really have a good time. So that's where I've been. I'm back now, ready to get back into the groove and try to get this thing kicked off on the right foot. But I am going to just kind of close out my June. I didn't do that. And, we'll close that out and we'll look forward to what's going on here in July. But this message right here is very, very important. So don't overlook this. There's no right course to success. There's only your course. The right course may not be the exact same course I took. You learn the principles. You learn the things that's important. But we chart your own course for you. And it's based on who you are as a person, as a trader. Everybody's unique. It's just like you have people that like to trade penny stocks. They like to trade the low dollar, low float stocks, these runners, these things that get you excited and, jacked up. People thrive on that. And that's good for them. But that's not good for me. So I have my own, I plotted my own course. I learned from a lot of people. I was in several different communities. There's no secret. All of that's there on my blog. I'll never deny anywhere I've been. And, all of those places help me, define my course. And so you got to keep in mind that you're going to have to define your own course. You learn the foundation. You learn the principle. You learn the concepts. But that's why it's so important for me that you see exactly what I'm doing, that you hear what I'm doing, that I'm not just posting I'm in this stock or I'm out that stock. Obviously I have to post swing trades. You don't stream a swing trade chart. You'll fall asleep looking at it all day. Plus you're not supposed to look at it anyway. But day trading, that's why I stream my platform so you could hear what I'm thinking, you could see what I'm doing, you could get the feel for the timing that I have, because you're going to have to develop your own. You can follow, but as you start trading, you're going to realize what feels good to you, what feels right to you, what doesn't feel right. And that's very, very important. So my goal when I'm mentoring and even when I'm trying to teach in the community, in the chat room every day, it's trying to get you to understand and chart your own course. Okay, it's okay to want to know what I think, but I tell you what I think, but what feels right in your heart. That's what's number one. So just remember, there's no right course to success. There's only your course that you need to take that's specific to you that's going to get you to where you want to be. And my job, and any other trading educator or anybody out there that's mentoring, their job is not to create a follower or a sheep, but to help you find your own path, help you navigate and plot your own path, and turn you loose. All right, so June was pretty slow. It started out okay. The first week of June was okay. And, then I decided, well, I was asked, hey, look, you've gone too far too fast. Can you slow down? Can you help us? That's kind of where I changed gears after the first week. And, we just slowed down, looking for one trade, trying to take one trade a day, and just be real, focused and consistent. Because while you're learning, you need to start small. You need to gradually grow. I'm not saying you need to stay small, because you don't. You can't grow if you stay small. You have to gradually grow, test your limits, reach yourself out there. If you get burned, pull back a little bit, gather yourself. Make sure you keep your confidence high and continue to believe in yourself, and you continue to increase your share size. That's what we're going to be demonstrating, over these next 6 months, is, how you have to do that. So we're starting small. I made a couple $100 since, we started back with $1,000. But I'm still trading like I have $1,000. The share size, the position size that I'm taking, that's kind of where I'm sticking around. And you can see the last week of June was a struggle. We had a decent trade on Monday. And remember, this is with very small size. Tuesday, Wednesday, we were taking the one trade a day. That's all you need to do. One trade a day. And once you get consistent with following your trade plan, it's not about making money initially. It's about learning how to build your trade plan and developing the discipline to stick to it. You're not good enough yet to read price action and change on the fly. You want to learn the fundamentals, the foundation, following your trade plan. And as you do that, you learn how to read price action. As you're watching your trade develop and try to make it to your targets, and if it doesn't make it, then you start to see patterns of what does a stock do when it starts to turn around. What things do we see? These are the things that we point out in chat when I'm in a trade and I'm seeing things. I'm like, look, this is telling us that there's probably going to be a momentum change and I want to get out. That's where my timing comes from. But I had to learn that. And I learned that by allowing my trades to go through and work themselves through my plan. And that's why I'm so adamant about that. That's why, everybody I work with, I try to put them on this one trade a day plan. So you focus 100% on doing your best on that one trade. And then we bump it up from there. Then we start looking for the secondary trades. But by then, your discipline should be so that you will not chase. You'll wait for the perfect setup and you take it. And if it works, great. If it doesn't, you stop out where you're supposed to. So these are the things that we're focusing on. And then when there's no trade, we don't take a trade. Personally, I didn't take a trade today. My son did, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But me, going through my progression and my scans, I had nothing. And I didn't take a trade today. And I did do I entered a swing trade. I did send that out, so you guys know about that. But as far as day trading, I didn't do anything. Last month on all day holds, it was a slow month. I didn't take any the first week of June. I wasn't really focusing on it at that time. But again, we're in a slow time. The volume is low. I'm not going to find these all the time. And sometimes if I'm busy in the morning, you have to find these pre-market. And if I'm busy in the morning and I'm not able to do it, I may have a mentoring session early in the morning. And I don't get to look at the market that early. And therefore, I don't have anything that I could do an all-day hold on. So I was doing a lot of mentor sessions during this slow time because this is the best time to learn. And I was doing a lot and just didn't have a whole lot of time to look for these. But, going forward, we're going to spend a little bit more time watching these. Last week, the first 2 days of July, I found two. Now, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we were gone. I didn't have time. The family was up early and moving around, and I didn't get a chance to really look to see if we had any opportunities. But we ended the month of June, okay, $3,000. Now I'll take it on, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 trades. So not bad at all. And then last week, 2 trades, $1,300. I mean, this is a solid setup, but you got to be patient with it, and you can't micromanage it. So you have to have your discipline in place to allow these things to work, just like you would on swing trades. And this was a strategy that bridged me from day trading to swing trading. This is exactly what I did. And the class, and there's only a couple of classes to teach this strategy. That's slated to start this Wednesday. So this Wednesday, you guys be prepared. We're going to start going over this strategy so you'll know how to find these pre-market. All right, so I don't remember all the particulars of these. Like I said, this was Monday and Tuesday. I know this one, we got in. It made the move, I think so I got in right at the open. It made this big washout, hit my first target, which was 154. Actually had 2-cent slippage to the good. And then we came back up, ended up getting a 30-cent slip. I had my stop was 156.50, and it popped back up, and it had a 30-cent slippage on this. Sometimes it bites me, very rarely. You don't see this often. But I do use a stop market so that if it does blow past my position, it's going to get me out. I don't want to take any chances. So this is, this gets me out of the trade. Sometimes I get slippage, sometimes I don't. Most of the time I don't. Every now and then on a volatile stock like this where it just blows back up, that possibility is there. But we locked in 554.95. Not a bad couple minutes. Not a bad 30 minutes before we were headed to the beach. And on Tuesday we found Facebook. Facebook here, I got in pre-market right just before 9 o'clock, and we hit the first target, which is 193. The second one, it never did hit. So, I took this off right before the market closed. I was actually sitting on the beach when I took this trade off. So right before the market closed, I ended up taking it off. So that was nice. 767.57. Real nice. And these are perfect if you're on vacation like this, or if you work full time. I started from nothing. I started doing this working full time. I traded my way out of my job. There was a process that I had to follow. My course, I plotted my course, and it took me maybe a year longer than I wanted it to, but I wasn't smart enough to realize how long it was going to take at that time. But I worked my way out. So those were the 2 all-day holds, and like I said, the class is slated to start Wednesday. I just want to make sure I have everything together, because I did absolutely nothing last week, and this morning, though today is the first day I'm really looking at all of this. So today I didn't take a trade. My son did. I'm trying to teach him how to trade, and all I can do is tell him, look, this is what I want you to look at. We write trade plans down on a note card. That's how I do it. And that's how I'm doing it for him. We write the trade plan out, tell him exactly what to do. But I've got him going on a 2-minute chart. Younger people don't have the patience for a 5-minute chart, even though it's not that long. I don't want him on a 1 minute, so I put him on a 2-minute. And, this was supposed to be a 2-minute opening range breakdown. Once we put the first 2-minute candle in, as soon as this one broke it, it sold off and, kind of bought back up on him. But that's fine. I told him, look, he knew where his stop was. 50 cents was a stop. And let it go. First target was going to be 45, but I guess he jumped the gun here a little bit. Got out at 45.06 and ended up taking it all off. And he waited. I told him to wait till this thing closed below the 20 here, but he didn't listen and ended up making money anyway. But got it as soon as we got below this, and ended up covering some here at 44.25. Rest of it at 43.73. Yep, took the rest of it off there. And then as it came back through, got back in, pushed against him a little bit here, but stayed within his parameters and just held on to it, following the trade plan, developing that discipline, not getting scared out. If you do this early on, all of this was done with 100 shares, and if you do this early on and you practice this, and you practice letting the trades work, just trusting the technicals, letting the trades work, you're going to develop an awesome skill. And if a 15-year-old can develop this, we all can. And here's where I told him, once you get burned on this one time, then you shut it down. And this little blip here, that took him out. And so end of the day, 203.28. Paid for the shoes he bought yesterday. And and it looks easy, but it's not. It is not easy at all. Being disciplined and following your trade plan is not easy. Building the trade plan is the easy part. Predicting where you want the stock to go, that's the easy part. Executing separates the men from the boys. And that's where we get fouled up all the time. So that's why, I try to teach using these, writing your trade plan out on a card and reading it. Because I used to get that deer in the headlight look all the time. The bell rang and I know what setup I'm supposed to be looking for, but all of a sudden I forget everything. But if it's written down, where my stop's gonna be, it's 50 cents over my entry price, automatically I know where to put my stop. I know where my targets are gonna be because I got them written down, and that helps me stay focused. And so that's what I'm working on. With him, it worked good with my daughter. Some of you guys that have, done it, and you did it the right way, you gave it a good, opportunity. It worked for you guys. So that's my story on that. So the question became, where did y'all find that stock? Where it wasn't on our scan. Why wasn't it on our scan? Well, it wasn't on our scan because it did not have a gap big enough to hit my scan. My opening range breakout or breakdown scan, my ORB scan, for it to hit that, it has to have a dollar gap up or gap down at least. Here we closed yesterday at, what was it, 46.65. Okay, the high this morning was 47.16. Okay, that is not a dollar. So it wasn't going to hit my scan. It never did. Where we found it was right here on this Thinkorswim scan. Now, if you're in the community, I did a whole class on this. There's a video on the website that covers, how to build a scan. This is a proprietary scan on Thinkorswim. Okay, it's under Lovers and Losers, and it's pre-market movers. But what you have to do is you have to change these columns in order to get pre-market data. The columns that just automatically come up are not going to give you live data pre-market. And on that video is going to show you exactly what you need to do in order to find it. So let me show you where it's at. It's right here. If you go to the website and you look under member videos, just come down under the education webinars, working with Thinkorswim 1 and working with Thinkorswim 2, and I talk about how I look for the all-day holds using this scan. Now, we're going to talk about it more in the class, but this is the scan that I get my all-day hold ideas from. Now, trade ideas doesn't start populating till, right around 7 or just after 7. I cut my computer on well before that. sometimes 5:30, 6 o'clock, but no later than 6. When I cut it on at 6, this is working. This is picking up stocks that are moving. And I have this set to where it's giving me the stocks with the largest volume first. It's separated by volume, not by gap or anything like that. So when I looked at Twitter this morning, it was number 1, and it just didn't have a big gap, but it had volume and it was in play. So that was the first stock that we actually looked at, before we headed out to the gym. So that's how he found that, and went to work on it. But it didn't fit my criteria, therefore I didn't trade it. I didn't put it on my watch, and I didn't trade it. Like I said, I'm trying to teach people to have their own thoughts, have their own voice. Of course, Twitter is big with that generation. It's big with us too, but they're going to want to trade something they connect with. And this morning, Twitter was it. Facebook was moving too, but that was a little bit out of the price range for that account. So, Twitter fit perfectly. And that's how we got that. And like I said again, this is the scan that I use to find the all-day holds as well. The key is I have to be able to go through the scan first thing in the morning. If I don't have time to go through it and find anything, then it's not going to happen. I won't be trading an all-day hold that day. That's the discipline that I've got to have, and that's what keeps me safe. All right, so, go back and look at that, guys. If you have any questions, just shoot me an email. But I go through step by step how to set this up. You don't have to change any parameters. All it's doing is looking for stocks that are moving pre-market, that has volume. Does it pick up all the stocks? No. But it does pick up enough of the good stocks that can give me a good idea of what's going on and what's moving in the market. Because this morning I saw Twitter, Baba, Facebook, what was the other, Netflix, all had some volume this morning. So I'm like, hey, there may be something going on with this social media deal here. So, that's where that came from. All right, so that's going to do it for me today. And we'll get back at this thing tomorrow. We'll see if we get a good opportunity. We'll have some more earnings. We only had one stock on earnings this morning. That's the one I had on my watch. But the spreads at the open were just ridiculous. And it was a 5-cent tick stock at that. So that just didn't pan out. But Twitter did for my little man, and was able to bring it home. Papa didn't bring the kill home today. The little man did. So long as somebody brings it home, we can eat. That's all that matters. All right, so you guys have a great night, and I will see you back here first thing tomorrow morning. We'll be back in the room and seeing if we can make something happen.